Fallout 4, it's one of the best game ever! And please, before taking me into the nearest psychiatric hospital, let me explain why. Most of the games are usually focused on a single aspect. You got titles like Battlefield, Call of Duty, Escape from Tarkov and FIFA, if that's a game, which are mainly, if not purely focused on the multiplayer things. And then you got video games like Resident Evil, Road 96, Heavy Rain, which are purely story-driven. And sure, we can all agree on how much different all of these games are, but there is one thing, and one thing only, that keep all of them tied together, leaving Fallout 4 free to roam into the masterpiece field. And since it's a very complicated word, I'm gonna let the technology speak for me.
Repetitiveness.
In fact, it doesn't matter which one of these games you are playing, because in the long term, all of them translating, doing the same things, repeating always the same action, driving the gamers into that daily routine of madness and angriness that will lead them to destroy themselves. Yeah, it's pretty funny stuff. While Fallout 4 give so many things to do that you could literally play for 3 days straight without even thinking about the main story or without even shooting a single bullet. But before that, what is Fallout 4? And have you ever considered subscribing to my channel? No? Well, that's fine, I guess. I'm gonna eat this cake all alone. As the name suggests, Fallout 4 is the 8th game in the franchise, or canonically speaking, the 5th one. So it does make sense. We take control of a father or a mother that has been frozen up during the total nuclear annihilation, until of course something bad happens. And with bad I mean I finally get relieved from my parental responsibilities. Yes, but on the other side of the coin, I'm an extremely proud person, man. I'm a YouTuber. Hell no, I'm a YouTuber. How dare you stealing from me? I'm the only one who can steal shit, especially if the people who I'm stealing from are weaker than me. And with that said, our journey begins. During our research, we'll find 4 groups of people willing to help us. The settlement needs your help, the Brotherhood of Chads, the nerds, and the nerds without any money, depending on how much of a lunatic we were.
Ain't got nothing better to do.
We will gain access to 4 different endings. Sure, maybe some of them will include the complete annihilation of the other groups, but you know, it's war. War never changes. But you know what it does change? The ending. With 4 different endings, what is that things that keep all of the player replaying over and over Fallout? Well, the answer is simple. All the shit ton of things that you can actually do. And let's start with the settlements. It's a new entry in the Fallout series, and man, when I discovered it, I expended hours, too many hours, straight trying to build my perfect base, giving orders, saying to the settlers what they have to do. The crafting system allows the player to basically build everything, man, and I'm speaking about gigantic houses, turrets, water pumps. Man, it's a masterpiece, with the main goal being earn some extra caps with the shops and keeps every settlers happy and away from the thoughts of the tumor constantly growing in their body due to the excessive amount of radiation from the nuclear war. Nice way to live. Crafting also includes weapon, food, and armors. You can modify all of your weapons, and I really appreciate the fact that you can actually see all of the fixed attachment that you put on your death dispenser. Hello, hamster. Hello. Okay, let's go. I'm making content. It's not good content, but it's content, Hampeter. And your cuteness, it's distracting me. Oh. Okay, besides that, hey, if you don't wanna be a violent man, you can always sit there by the fireplace, cook up some more rat meat or some other strange ass food that will give you some temporary perk. And speaking about perks, this game has many of them. So many! Too many! And I understand some of them, for example, the lock-picking one or the hacker, because they are just there to improve your capabilities. But other perks like Bloody Mess, man, what the fuck? Even though I never did a single one without it. And if making fictionary people explode wasn't enough, during the story you'll come across crazy ass people just like us, willing to follow us. Every single one of them has its own personality and traits. For example, Piper and Kate, they both are companions that we can meet at the start of the game, and they are basically the opposite. When we steal something, Piper will go like, ew, gross, man. I'm not gonna send you the good morning images now, fuck you. While Piper's gonna be like, hey, you're very cute, you know. I never noticed how you could steal the ashtray from the table. It's not a thing that everyone can achieve. Of course, being a gamer, I know that these little things, for how much they are appreciated, they simply aren't enough to keep a mental functioning man glued to the screen playing for time and offline games. And Bethesda understands that too. For that reason, Fallout 4 is one of the few blessed games where you can install mods without being fucking Bill Gates. I don't know, man. I'm not one of them. For that, I don't understand. I mean, it's so appreciated to have just there in the menu, mods. Search what you like, install it, and run it. And the mods really add basically infinite replayability, man. And for much how I love every single one of these, I do have to admit that all of these things simple weren't enough if it wasn't for the incredible soundtrack. I mean, it's not really an original soundtrack since they just paid for the most known song of 40s, 50s and 60s. But still, it's the only list, the only playlist that it's capable of making me feel like, man, I could fucking dance through an entire battlefield. Or just making me feel like, oh, reality is just too much to carry, man. Also, why is he dancing? I would like to end this video with a concrete and understandable sentences, understandable for my own standards, of course. Fallout 4 is one of the best games ever, and that because it's always capable of giving something entertaining to do without being an unknown as secondary mission, a legendary enemy that you have ever encountered, or simply a dialogue that you have never listened, but also always something to laugh at. And for this, I'm confident when I tell you, you should really buy Fallout 4, even if it's 2022, man. If you haven't played it, you should really do that. And with that said, I just hope to see you in the next one, and thank you so much for watching. From Apoleado, it's now everything, and I'm going to get my pills now. Bye!